The ultrasound screen flickered. My unborn daughter's heart beat a steady drum in the sterile room, but my own heart was shattering. I was 7 months pregnant, and my husband, Tom, had just confessed he'd fathered another child with another woman. It wasn't the confession that broke me. It was the way he said it, sitting across from me at our kitchen table, his hands trembling around a coffee mug, eyes darting like a trapped animal. It was a mistake. Sarah, he whispered, as if a mistake could explain a 9-month-old boy now living across town. I sat frozen, my hands cradling my swollen belly, feeling our daughter kick as if she sensed the world crumbling around her. The man I'd loved for a decade, the one who'd promised forever under a starlit sky, had built a secret life while I was building ours. We'd been high school sweethearts. Tom and I. He was the charming quarterback with a crooked smile. I was the bookish girl who fell for his warmth. We married young, at 22, full of dreams about a house with a picket fence and kids running through sprinklers. By 28, we were halfway there, a cozy home in suburban Ohio, a baby on the way. I thought we were unbreakable. But that night, as he spilled his betrayal, I realized love could bend until it snapped. The other woman was a coworker, Lisa, from his accounting firm. A late-night project had turned into drinks. Then something more. It wasn't an affair. He swore just one reckless night. But that night had consequences, a boy named Ethan, born just weeks before our daughter. Lily was due. Tom hadn't known about the pregnancy until Lisa showed up with a paternity test, demanding support. He'd been hiding it for months, hoping to fix it before I found out. But secrets like that don't stay buried. I kicked him out that night. I couldn't look at him without seeing her, without imagining him holding another child while I was picking out cribs. My mother came over, held me as I sobbed, and told me I was strong enough to do this alone. And for a while, I believed her. I painted Lily's nursery, went to birthing classes solo, and ignored Tom's calls. When Lily was born, her tiny hand wrapped around my finger, and I felt a fierce, protective love that made me think I didn't need him. But love isn't just need, it's a ghost that lingers. Tom didn't give up. He sent letters, flowers, voicemails begging for a chance to explain. I deleted most of them, but one letter slipped through, written in his messy scrawl. He described meeting Ethan, how the boy's eyes were his, how he felt torn between guilt and a strange, unexpected love. He didn't ask for forgiveness. Outright, he knew better, but he asked to be part of Lily's life. "I'll do anything," he wrote. "I'll live with any condition you set. Sarah, just let me be her dad." I ignored it for weeks, but Lily's first smile, her coos, the way she reached for me, it stirred something. I didn't want her growing up without a father, not when he was still here, begging. So I called him. Not for me. I told myself for her. We met at a park, neutral ground. He looked thinner, his eyes shadowed with sleepless nights. He didn't try to charm me. He just listened as I laid out my terms. "You can come back," I said, my voice steel. "But you live in the guest room. You're here for Lily, not me. You support Ethan, but he's not part of our home. And if you ever lie again, you're gone for good." He nodded, tears in his eyes, and promised. The first weeks were torture. Tom was in the house, but not my husband, not really. He'd change Lily's diapers, sing her to sleep, but we barely spoke. I'd catch him staring at me, like he was waiting for the old Sarah to return. But she was gone. I was someone new, forged in betrayal and motherhood. Yet watching him with Lily softened something. He'd rock her for hours, whispering stories about the stars, the same ones he'd told me when we were young. I hated how it made me feel torn between anger and a flicker of the love we'd had. The community didn't help. Our small town buzzed with gossip. Friends took sides. Some called me a saint, others a fool. At the grocery store, I'd see Lisa pushing Ethan's stroller, and the air would thicken with unspoken words. She never approached me, but her presence was a wound. I wondered what she thought of Tom coming back. if she hated me for it. I wondered about Ethan, too innocent, caught in this mess. Sometimes I'd lie awake, imagining him growing up, wondering why his father lived with another family. Months passed, and the guest room became Tom's permanent space. He was trying God. He was trying. He went to therapy, took on extra work to support both children, and never missed a moment with Lily. But trust is a fragile thing, like a cracked vase that holds water but leaks under pressure. I'd catch myself watching him, searching for lies in his eyes. Once, I found a receipt for a toy store in his pocket and panicked, thinking it was for Ethan, a breach of our rules. It was for Lily, a stuffed bunny for her first birthday. I cried that night, not from relief, but because I hated how distrust had poisoned me. One evening, a year after he'd returned, we had a fight that changed everything. Lily was sick, running a fever, and I was exhausted. Tom was pacing, worried, and I snapped, accusing him of not caring enough because he was split between two kids. He froze and then said quietly, "I love her more than my life, Sarah, and I still love you, even if you'll never love me again." It was the first time he'd said it since coming back. I didn't respond, but his words lingered, heavy and true. Slowly, things shifted, not back to what we were that was impossible, but to something new. I started joining him and Lily on walks, letting him make me coffee in the mornings. We talked, not about us, but about her, about life. One night, he told me about Ethan's first steps, and instead of rage, I felt a pang of sadness for a boy I'd never meet. I realized forgiveness wasn't about erasing the past. It was about choosing what to carry forward. 2 years later, we're still in the same house, but Tom's not in the guest room anymore. It wasn't a grand reunion, no movie moment kiss. It was quiet, deliberate, like rebuilding a house after a fire. I don't know if I'll ever fully trust him, but I love him, not the old Tom, but this one who's fought to be better. Lily's laughter fills our home, and sometimes, when she's asleep, we talk about Ethan. Tom shares small updates, careful not to cross my boundaries. I've started to see Ethan not as a threat, but as a child, like Lily, deserving of love. Our story isn't tidy. It's messy, human, full of scars. I forgave Tom, not because he deserved it, but because I deserved peace. I let him back, not for him, but for Lily, and maybe for the part of me that still believes in second chances. Some call me weak, others call me strong. I don't care. I've learned that love isn't a fairy tale, it's a choice, made every day, through pain and hope. What do you think? Was I right to forgive, to set conditions, to rebuild, or should I have walked away, letting justice outweigh love? Share your thoughts. Where do you stand on forgiveness, trust, and the messy lines of family?